Hey everybody, today I'm going to share with you 5 things that people don't tell you about when you're making that move to Nashville, Tennessee. And I'm getting started right now. Welcome back everybody, I'm Greg Spackman. I'm with the Living in Nashville, Tennessee channel. So if you're looking to learn everything about what it's like to live here, eat here, sleep here, even play here in the Nashville area, then click the subscribe button and the bell to be notified every time I do new videos. Lately, I've been getting a ton of people that are texting me or emailing me or even giving me a call that want to know more information about what it's like to live here in the Nashville area. I absolutely love it. So if that's you also, give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, and let's talk about getting you moved here to Nashville. So, the 5 things that they don't tell you about. Number 1 on my list is the weather. So, when we moved from Southern California to Nashville, didn't really have an idea of what the weather was going to be like. We did come out in the winter time, but it was, just overcast and the trees had no leaves and it was a little chilly, but it wasn't anything much different than what California was like as far as feeling like it was cold or anything. So I'm just going to walk you through the different weather that we have here in the Nashville area. Over the summertime, it gets very hot, very humid. And this is one of the things that you'll have to make a big adjustment to if you're not coming from an area that has the humidity. We didn't have that in Southern California. It was very dry, so you didn't have humid. It was just warm. And coming here with the humidity, it would feel like you needed a shower after you just walk from the front door out to your car. So that's something that you need to be aware of and get used to. You sort of get used to it, but I don't know if you can ever really love it, I guess. Some people it bothers more than others. In the fall here, we got to see what leaves change look like coming from California, where everything stays green and nice, or I guess it browns some during the summer, but you don't have the leaves change colors like they do here. So it's awesome. It's like one of the coolest things to see is all the beautiful leaves change colors and then they fall off the trees. And then you're wondering, wow, everything is dead. Well, and then that leads you into wintertime. And I would say the first couple years we were here, it really didn't snow much. My kids were wanting more snow and we just weren't getting it. They get like, I don't know, just a light dusting where it was not really enough snow to do anything with. And so one of the years we got enough snow where we could go sledding. Well, every single place that sold sleds was out. We finally found a place at CVS where they didn't have any out, but they had like hundreds in the back room. So if you're on the lookout for a sled, CVS or Walgreens, I think will have them typically, and most people don't know about that. So if you're trying to go to like Walmart or Target, they're going to be sold out when it snows because everybody will rush and buy them. So that's super cool. The other thing that was a challenge to find was a snow shovel. They didn't really have much for sale. I ended up ordering one on Amazon. However, I believe that CVS and Walgreens also had those as well. For the most part about the wintertime weather, it doesn't get normally much colder than in the 30s, maybe some in the 40s. So it's like 30 to 50 degrees. And then we'll have like a week or two where it's like what they call fake summer, where it warms up and it's like 80 degrees and it's weird. Just know that weather here can be sporadic. It can snow one day and then the next day be 90 degrees in the Nashville area. In the spring, all the trees are getting their leaves back and it's super cool to see. Very, very pretty. It's, I guess, just a happier time because it went from being all like gloomy with the trees and everything and then overcast and all of that to bright and beautiful colors. Your flowers are blooming, all of that happens, and then that pushes you into summer. So that covers weather a little bit. The next thing that people don't tell you about when moving here to the Nashville area is our bugs. And we have a lot of different creepy crawler bugs and snakes and that sort of thing. You can protect yourself at your home sites from that by just having a pest control person come and spray. And that seems to do a really good job. So twice a year would probably be good if you're wanting not to have them. But you could talk to your pest control person and see what they recommend as far as spraying. Some of them will do it quarterly. It just depends on what sort of service you have set up. But I recommend that to any clients that move here, that they should have some sort of pest control service that sprays. So when you get rid of all the bugs, that typically will get rid of more of the spiders. And we do have brown recluses here in Tennessee. However, I haven't run across any, just more black widows, which we had in California. So that wasn't anything different. But if you get rid of the bugs, then the spiders really don't have anything to eat. So they're going to go, to a neighbor or something like that where they can get food. The worst bugs that we have are these little long silverfish or something like that drive my wife nuts whenever they show up. They are kind of like a little worm, but with a bunch of little legs. Anyhow, we've had like 2 of those show up. One was in the bathroom when she was doing her hair, and I could hear her shrieking and ran in there, and I was able to catch the bug and then release him outside. So that was cool. But she didn't want to go into the bathroom for a few days after that, although she had to. The next thing that you need to be aware of is Nashville is a huge tourist destination. I would say it's one of the top 3 bachelorette areas in the nation as far as bachelorette parties happen. Every Friday and Saturday night in the downtown Nashville area, you're going to see a ton of bachelorette parties, a bunch of girls that are, one of them will be dressed up as the bachelorette, and then have all her friends with her typically. And so that's super cool to see, but just know that Nashville has a huge amount of tourism. When the NFL season is going on, then you have a lot of fans that come in for NFL football games, and they play 8 home games a year, plus playoffs if we make it. And so the stadium gets full, and that brings a lot of people. And then we have a lot of other events, country music stuff that goes on. And so we have a ton of people that are coming from out of state that are here, and you just need to be aware of that. The number 4 thing they don't tell you about when living in Nashville is the drivers. And the drivers here are pretty poor. I know that drivers are probably poor all over. If you think your drivers are poor, you could drop a comment below. Let me know what state you're from and what you think about your drivers. But Nashville, there are 7 states that surround us, and so we end up with drivers that come through Nashville all the time. And a lot of the people will come from Kentucky, going down to Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, that sort of drive. And so we just have a ton of people that don't know how to drive. There are a lot of different things that they do. You'll notice that people here tend to drive in the carpool lane when they're just with themselves. And so even though you're not supposed to do that, it would be nice if the police would actually ticket for that, but they don't. You'll wind up with people driving, the speed of 60, 65 in the fast lane when they should be going 70 in the fast lane. And they have a law in Tennessee where you're not supposed to hold people up on the freeway. You're supposed to move over, but people don't seem to care about that. They'll just do their own thing. And so when people are driving slower in the fast lane, that means people have to drive around them, which can cause accidents and other things. Otherwise, the other worst part about driving here is just all of the traffic. And if you're driving around Nashville, you're going up I-24, which is our worst freeway for traffic. It's pretty awful to drive up I-24. And then I-65 gets really rough around the major rush hour times in the morning and the afternoon, evening. As far as around city driving, doesn't seem like it's awful other than the major peak traffic times. And then it just has gotten worse over the years of being here with more and more people moving to Nashville, and then them building some high-rise apartments, which bring more density to it, and just add more cars and more people to the mix. Number 5 thing they don't tell you about living in Nashville is our taxes. So we did a little research ahead, but nobody really told us that you would not have to pay state income tax. And we thought, well, that's awesome, which it was, because I think we were paying somewhere around 8 or 10% in California. And then moving to Nashville, we went to 0, which was awesome. However, the sales tax was 9.25%, where it was less than that in California. And so the high sales tax, I guess, offsets the no state income tax. I'd have to do some math to figure out how that exactly affects you as far as what you spend a year over what you would pay in state income tax. But it's nice that you don't have to file state income tax. Makes it a lot easier. You just have to file your federal or if you have a corporation, then you have to pay corporate taxes and you file those. And so a bonus item that no one shared with us and we didn't know about was allergies. It's called like the allergy bowl, where the allergies just kind of just hover around the Nashville area. And I think it's just due to the mountains that we have, and then all of the amount of trees that we have. We have like thousands of trees, so it's very, very green and lush. And they do plow fields, which is super cool to see when they do the round hay bales. But you need to know that allergies, if you have them, can be a major problem in the Nashville area. What I ended up doing that helped me out the most is I went and saw the doctor, and they recommended Flonase. And at the time, Flonase you couldn't buy over the counter. You had to buy it. You had to get a prescription for it. Now you can buy it over the counter. I don't know if it's the same strength or not, but you can buy it over the counter. So they recommended Flonase for the most part, and then they would recommend Claritin of some sort. So I would get the little blue Claritin pills. I think they're 24-hour, but they work really, really good with the Flonase. So that pretty much solved my allergy problems. If you have allergies, though, I'd highly recommend you get tested so you can figure out which one is bothering you the most, and then you can talk to your doctor about which way you can go about treating that or helping alleviate it. It's not perfect, but I think I typically have a day or two a year where I feel really, I don't know, foggy and just not myself. And if I'm doing what I should do, then within a couple days, it's typically back to normal for me. So hopefully these 6 things I shared with you today about living in the Nashville area were helpful, and you'd like more information about making that move here to Nashville. If that's the case, please give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. I'd love to hear from you. Love to talk about getting you moved here to Nashville. And until next time, I'm out.